Guys, before we jump in the video, I just want to say thank you to the YouTube channel members. Um, Guys, I'm just amazed and really just in awe that that there's any even just one. So I just want to give a big shout out to the members for this channel. It really helps, and it just continues to make me want to just make videos and continue to give knowledge and just showcase to the public. Sim golf and everything that sim golf has to offer and components and anything like that. So again, just want to say thank you, and let's go ahead and jump in.
Second flight, but we first in vibe. GS Pro got us feeling alive. From leagues to tours, yeah, we never fade. Sing golf kings in the nights we made. Hey.
Welcome back in. Today we are talking all things VTrack from Lone Swingcraft. And in today's video, it's going to be really in depth. We are going to go through a lot of different things. So from the VTrack, some just out of the gate things, ceiling mounting, distance from floor. We're going to go through a calibration. We're going to look at the VTrack Toolkit. We're going to look at the swing camera replay. We're going to look at SwingEZ. Guys, we're just going to do an in-depth review of the VTrack from Lone Swingcraft. I've had the VTrack installed in the sim here for right at about 4 months, probably three and a half, 4 months. It's been a game changer for me as far as getting off the floor. I've had Garmin R10, I've had the Square Golf Launch Monitor, I had Unicore, iMini Lite, I've used the Unicore Core, I've hit on Pro T, I've hit on all the Unicore devices. Guys, I've pretty much used and been around it all. So I really wanted to make this video just for a couple different reasons. Obviously, to showcase the VTrack in action, all the things that are within the toolkit, the swing camera replays, and then also SwingEZ. So, but the main reason is you're probably watching this, obviously, because you're either in the process of making a sim or you are upgrading launch monitors, something of that nature, and you are looking up the VTrack. And so your eyes are set on possibly getting a VTrack. And I want to make sure that this video covers pretty much everything that you would need to know in looking at the VTrack. All right, guys, first things first, VTrack is $5,000 in United States. So from that standpoint, it is on the cheaper side of most overhead launch monitors. Now, when you think of Pro T and Unicore, they do ship, or really when they're bundled right now, they do ship with the two swing cameras. The VTrack does not. So when you purchase the VTrack just at $5,000, there's a large gap between the next competitor with Pro T, right, at $6,500. So large, $1,500 gap. And the biggest difference there is VTrack does ship unit only. So you're going to get just a unit. You're going to get a leveling device, and then that's it. To get the swing cameras and the SwingEZ package, you're going to spend another $1,200. That's still below the Pro T price, but I do want to make sure that everyone has that in their mind, that when you purchase a VTrack, it is unit only. It does not have the swing cameras with it. To purchase the swing cameras with SwingEZ, it is another $1,200 package, which will ship with 2 cameras and then the license to download the software and your license key. All right, guys, let's talk about initial questions with VTrack just from a standpoint of mounting it in your sim. So the VTrack has a range of 8 foot 6 inches to 10 foot. So that is from your floor to the unit in which you want to mount it. So if you have a 10-foot ceiling, you should be able to mount it flush, no problem. Obviously, anything under that, you will be fine, unless you go below the 8 foot 6 inches. Additionally, if you have a ceiling that is higher than 10 foot, you can do a drop mount. So this is achieved, and I've done plenty of these, over the last really 6 months of a projector mount. If you look up the Crimson AV from Elite Sim Golf, that's probably the most desirable one. It's very heavy duty. It's not going to shift and move a lot in your environment, but any projector mount will do. So you just got to do your calculations. If you have a 12-foot ceiling, you're going to want to make sure that you drop that at least 2 foot, right, to get to that 10, even possibly a little bit more, so you're not on the very end of that range of the 10-foot maximum. If you have a 13-foot ceiling or a 14-foot ceiling, I've installed a VTrack in an 18-foot ceiling. I wouldn't say no questions because we had to get a lift and there's a lot of work involved there, but it's doable as long as you can drop the VTrack within that range of 8 foot 6 inches to 10. Additionally, with your hitting surface, so if you're installing a sim, you have that at your disposal because you can put your hitting mat and your distance anywhere at that point. For some of us that are just upgrading, you may already have your hitting mat and everything where you want it. So the VTrack is going to be installed 36 to 42 inches in front of your hitting area. So if you're using a hitting strip and you want to hit all around from back to front, then you just want to measure that out. Make sure that you're 36 to 42 inches in front of you. And it's going to have no problem. So again, let's make sure we're staying in that 8 foot 6 inches to 10 foot from floor to mount or floor to unit. And then also it's going to be installed in front of you 36 to 42 inches. So as long as you have those measurements, measured out, and that's where you mount it, you're going to be just fine. So let's talk through, we already have it mounted. Let's go ahead and go through a calibration just so we can see that. And guys, again, this is going to be an in-depth video. Feel free to skip around. We're going to start out from the beginning of calibration. We're going to talk VTrack Toolkit. We're going to forward into the swing cameras as far as what's embedded in the Toolkit software. And then we'll talk about SwingEZ. We'll load that up and we'll display that. Very briefly, it won't be in depth. So if you're looking for an in-depth SwingEZ video, there's a few of them out there. I know Joe Legowski just put out one probably about a month ago that's really nice. So we're going to do one in the future with just in-depth SwingEZ. So yeah, we're just going to talk about VTrack, and feel free to skip around, but let's go ahead and head over to the calibration. All right, guys, welcome to the VTrack Toolkit, and this is where we're going to do our calibration. And just a quick note, we've skipped a part of, it being mounted, powered on, and also running your Ethernet cable. So big note, the Ethernet cable has to be ran from the VTrack itself into your Ethernet port on your computer. No adapters, straight cable to computer. If you do want to run your computer on a hard internet, so non-Wi-Fi, actually a wired connection, you will run your Ethernet from your internet into an adapter to a USB port. So again, VTrack Ethernet straight from VTrack unit to computer. If you are wanting to run a wired internet connection, you will then use an adapter, which would be plugged into Ethernet into a USB port into your computer. So just make sure you get that correct. All right, so from the network here, we're going to go over to calibration. And guys, when you do this calibration, you want to make sure that you have nothing in the camera view. So you can see I have a control box. I'm going to move that just a little bit, and let's go ahead and start through the calibration. All right, so with the calibration, you're going to need two things, and it ships with the VTrack. Guys, never toss your calibration board, and always keep your calibration golf balls. So this is what it looks like. Just going to say VTrack. Going to have some markings on it. So guys, big note, don't toss this. This calibration board you need, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started with the first phase, which is going to be calibration board. There's going to be markings right here. you'll see where it says screen. So that points towards your screen. You're going to lay it directly on your hitting area. And you want to make sure that's straight. And as you can see, the cameras are starting to pick that up. We need to move it forward just a little bit. It's pointed towards the screen. It looks straight. Another note, guys, is just remember this is 2 cameras at a 3D image. So it's not straight down. It's not looking, straight at the calibration board. So it's going to be a little off-centered from camera 1 to camera 2 because it's a 3D image of how that's coming down. So the board is exactly 100% straight, right to the screen, right on my hitting strip. All right, let's go ahead and click calibrate. We're gonna, needs to be moved over. My apologies. That looks good right there. All right, so you see the dotted lines here. And let's go ahead and start calibration. All right, we have successfully calibrated the board. Now we're going to do the golf ball calibration. And this one's pretty straightforward. The hardest part is making sure that they're in this grid. But once you get the overall kind of outline, pretty easy from there. And as you can see, guys, they're starting to pick up the golf ball. Move a little faster here. And I will adjust them at the end. But we should be pretty good, yeah. So they don't have to be exact as long as they're within those boxes. Good news is everything's reading. So go ahead and click that. So we're processing the ball check. All right, we are all good with the ball check as well. So the hitting area. All right, guys, so the hitting area for me is a big deal, and one that you can mess up. So just be very cautious here with the VTrack. So your ready area is the entire area that you want the VTrack to read. So for me, I have a hitting strip. I don't want the ball to be read anywhere outside of the hitting strip. So that's why I have it on fixed. And then what you can do is you can actually bring, you see that change right there. It's a little bit tough, but yeah, you can bring that in. It's a little easier when you're not recording. But so you can bring that in. That way it's only going to read a ball that's within this this rectangle that I've made smaller. The tee side of it, though, you want to make sure that you don't have it on fixed, unless you have a tee that or a mat that has the hole where the tee comes up, kind of like your old school at the driving range. Then you would want it on fixed. But traditionally, all of us out there, we're going to be on non-fixed. So that means that the ball will read any place that it's in any place in this rectangle that I have that I've made smaller. So it'll read at the front of it, corner, back, anywhere and everywhere. And so that's the calibration, guys. So we are all set with our hitting areas. We're all set with the calibration. Let's kind of talk through just the toolkit in general. So all right, so toolkit in general, you're going to have flight path over here on your left, top left, and you're going to have the flight path, the overview on your left right here. You're going to have your club, impact, ball spin at the top, and then impact point and impact side view with all of the metrics down here at the bottom. It's very easy to add metrics, so you can just click add, and there's a list of different metrics that you can go through here. So if you want smash factor, you can go ahead and click that and it'll add smash factor. So super easy to add metrics. So the VTrack toolkit is something that's, it's not this glamorous software. It's pretty basic. It looks good. So I mean, I'm not complaining about how it looks, but it is something that's decently just basic. So I know Lone is committed this year to really dial in their software, especially the toolkit. So, over the next several months, the next year, we may see some updates to the UI and some, just some different looks. So they were really wanting to dial in the ball metrics and the club metrics, which I think they've done a phenomenal job. So now we are on Toolkit 2.3.6. So this is the newest version as this video is being made, July 26, 2026. So this is the newest Toolkit update. And they've done a lot of things over the last few months of really perfecting side spin and things of that nature. And guys, we have a phenomenal unit with ball data. And club data. And club data is going to be questionable unit to unit. It really depends on when that unit actually tracks that club data. So some units do it right before impact. Some people do it. Some do it right at impact. Some are an inch before impact. There's all different ways that these launch monitors are reading club data. So the biggest thing with that is I just want consistency. If it's at impact, or right after impact or before impact, wherever it is, I just want consistency. And that's what the VTrack is delivering. So next, let's go ahead and look at swing cameras. So swing cameras have been integrated into the VTrack. So let's go ahead and turn those on. So we're going to go to settings. We're going to go to game. I do have GS Pro loaded, as you guys could see in the background when we were doing our calibration. So we're going to go down here to swing replay. We're going to toggle that on. I do have SwingEZ, so the SwingEZ swing cameras can be integrated to the swing replay. Do not get those things. We got to make sure we separate those things. The SwingEZ cameras are for SwingEZ software for the AI. They can be used for the swing replay for the basic free integration of the swing replay within the VTrack. Also, you can use webcams, you can use your phone, which I think is very easy. So we can kind of showcase that real quick. You can go to mobile. On your mobile device, you're going to go ahead and scan that QR code when you have the app downloaded. It's called VLink. Download that app. You're going to scan it, and it's going to connect within 4 seconds, if that. And then now your phone can be used as a swing camera. If you have 2 phones laying around, you can do 2 different phones. You can do a webcam and a phone. But let's go ahead and keep it to SwingEZ because I do have those. So we got SwingEZ Cam 1 and SwingEZ Cam 2. All right, let's test this out. Show you what this looks like. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and hit a couple and showcase the swing replay. Again, this is the free integration that's within the toolkit if you're just playing. whether you're practicing or you're playing around on GS Pro or whatever software that you're going to be using. So I got a 7-iron in hand. So as you can see on the screen here, we do have this swing camera replay happening right now. Let me actually minimize my camera here. All right, so with the swing replay, again, it's the swing cameras are a little bit darker than your typical webcam or phone. So we'll showcase the phone in just a second, but you can stop, drag, so you can kind of slow motion this swing. At the top and all the way down. Hit that one pretty good. But yeah, so that's the swing cameras. You can drag and drop this on any screen. You can make it smaller. So if you do want to make it smaller to still be able to see data. This is coming on top of the toolkit. It can be moved to any screen, like I said, if you have multiple screens, and you can make it bigger, smaller. But yeah, essentially it's just going to keep playing in the background there. That's going to stay on until a ball goes into the hitting zone. So once the ball is in the hitting zone, it will remove the swing replay. So if it's something that you want to watch and look at, make sure the ball is not back in the hitting zone. All right, let's showcase the phone. Camera. So it's called VTrack Link. So just to show you, it's going to be a QR code right here. Let's go ahead and set that up. So we're going to go settings. We're going to use it on swing camera 1. We're going to switch this to mobile. I'm going to scan the QR code. Scanning now, and it's already synced. So I've already synced it. That was how fast it was. So I'm going to prop my phone up over here. So you may have a mount or something that's behind you or in front of you. I'm going to do it on the side view right here. And then we still want to go with we'll do cam 2. I don't know if cam 2 is going to be behind or not. Let's go ahead and save that. And let's hit another one. One of these cameras is going to be the iPhone. All right, there we go. So you can see the iPhone has a little bit better of a picture there. All right, guys, so this is the swing camera replay. And the fact that this is free, obviously it's just embedded into the toolkit, is really nice. You know, and you can stop this, drag it, stop it again. You know, I get questions, can you export this or send this to someone? If you're doing like recordings, like obviously like I am, yes. I mean, it's recording right now, and I could then save just this clip. And so if you have OBS already downloaded on your computer, you essentially could record your sessions of practice and then send this to a coach or something of that nature. You can't actually save it within the toolkit. So you'd have to use some third party. And, you know, in this instance, it could be OBS that you record a 10-minute session, upload that to a drive like Google Drive, and then be able to send it out. So, all right, that is the toolkit and also the swing camera replay. Let's move over to SwingEZ. which is a $1,200 package on top of your $5,000 purchase. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to settings. We're going to exit GS Pro. And the one thing I like is everything's integrated into the toolkit. So if I open the toolkit, GS Pro automatically opens. Or if I want SwingEZ, if it's my main software that I'm using, if I open the toolkit, it's going to open SwingEZ. So we're going to switch over to the SwingEZ software. So we're going to do the drop down, click SwingEZ, and we're going to hit launch. So right now on the other screen, this is what's being shown. So that's actually what's on my impact screen right now. It's just going through its home screen of playing music and just going down this list. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about the camera mounting, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this over to this side actually. And so the mounting distance, you're going to have one that's face forward and you're going to have one that's behind you down the line. So just want to read this, make sure it's I don't mess it up. So so your point distance, so from camera to the tee, you want 51.2 inches to 59.1 inches. So that's going to be 1,300 millimeters to 1,500 millimeters, or 4.3 feet to 4.9 feet. So they do give you a range. This is the camera in front of you. You want it to be 4.3 to 4.9. Okay. The camera behind you, the one down the line, this one you need to make sure is not directly behind the ball. It needs to be behind you, the golfer. So it's going to be a little bit offset from the ball. And again, it needs to be pointed at you. This one needs to be 7.7 feet to 9 foot. So that's a range. Again, pointed at you. While the one in front is pointed kind of at you as well, but it's a little bit behind the ball. So 2350 millimeters, 2750 millimeters, 92.5 inches to 108.3 inches, or 7.7 feet to 9 feet for the camera behind you that's down the line. And then height from floor to camera, and this is for both the one in front and the one down the line, you want at 3.6 feet from the floor. So that's going to be 1,100 millimeters, 43.3 inches, or again, 3.6 feet with height. Currently, right now, SwingEZ is released to the public. We have driving range and AI pose analysis. More is coming. So as you can see here, we have AI pose training. We have shot training. There's going to be my golf bag, so you're going to be able to, manage your gapping, things of that nature. But let's go ahead and go into the AI pose analysis. I think this is so what we're going to do is we're going to dive in very quickly. We're going to do a driving range swing, quickly show what you can do. And then more importantly, we're going to show the AI pose analysis, very quick, one swing and done. So let's go ahead and dive into the driving range. All right, guys. So as you can see here, it registered my shot. Here's all the data, launch angle, carry distance, all that stuff. I do want to showcase. I'm gonna minimize the second screen here because I want to see how it integrates the impact location as well. All right. So now you can see that all the data, impact location. And what we can do here is the same thing we kind of did with the swing cameras. You can drag and stop this. But additionally, what you can do, which you can't do in just the toolkit, I mean, this is just, it's full of things that you can and would want to do. So, if we want to draw a circle around the head to see if it moves, um, if you want to do swing plane, so we could do swing plane. Yeah, so if you want to do swing plane, you can see just a little bit over the top, which is my tendency. But yeah, so that is the SwingEZ driving range and practice. Up here, you can tell there's so many different things we can do. We can do angles. We can take pictures. You can go ahead and erase, um, what you put on there. So let's flip over and see the AI pose analysis, which I think is um, really the meat and potatoes of what AI swing analyzing is. All right, still 7-iron in hand. We're going to hit this. And these are where we get our position scores. So 1 through 8. See if we can actually get a decent score. So that's going to analyze. All right. So our scores are popping up. I'm going to go ahead and minimize the second screen. So you can see our scores are starting to pop up. All right. So we have P1, 61. P2, 55, bad takeaway. I know I'm notorious for that. P3 is a 50. P4 is 55. P5 is a 20, so no pelvic hip rotation, hip slide versus rotation. I'm notorious for that. Look at that, a 7 on P6. And that P5, P6, P7. That is where, for me as a golfer, I struggle. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to look at is with the SwingEZ AI pose, we have visualizations over here. So we're going to click on that. What we can do here, a couple of things that I use frequently. We have the V zone. That's going to be your swing plane. And then we're going to add the club trajectory. I think that's really cool because that's something that you kind of see Thursday through Sunday on the PGA Tour. So just something that's neat to watch. So let's go ahead and kind of watch this to see if we are in the swing plane zone, and then also watch that head trajectory. So you can see it takeaway, following the head trajectory, over the top a little bit in the swing plane zone, but just something really neat. So let's go ahead and pause that. And guys, there's a lot of different overlays we can do here. We have wrist hinge, do we maintain our spine, X factor, swing tempo, elbow, hands. I mean, basically anything and everything that we'd want. Alignment up here as well. So let's go back over here to diagnose. And the next thing I want to show is actually I'm going to take away the swing plane and the trajectory. I want to show the 3D model here. So let's go to 3D model. So this one's pretty cool. Obviously, it's 3D model. You can rotate it. So you can look from behind. You can look from on top view. Let's go ahead and play this. Just so you can kind of get a visual of what that 3D model looks like all the way through the swing. And then again, you can, just like everything else, pause it, drag it, stop it at the top of the swing, and then really rotate this around and see what that looks like. So not great hip rotation. With a driver, this is phenomenal to look at, just because you can really see that hip rotation. you know, elbows bent slightly there. So, all right, guys. So that's the SwingEZ AI pose. It's phenomenal. It's really as in depth as you would like it to be, or as surface level. You know. All right, we're back to the VTrack Toolkit. We're gonna jump over to GS Pro. We're gonna play a couple holes, just showcasing the VTrack, and we'll meet you over there. All right, guys. So we are at Lookout Point Country Club. This is a course that's been designed by the new GS Pro design team. It's a group that's been pulled together. Not sure if they're getting paid or not, but I think GS Pro is doing a phenomenal job evolving. And this is just kind of one of those things. We've seen a lot of good updates with the software, but having a group to have verified courses, I think is huge. And as a consumer and someone that plays the software, we just benefit from it because we get phenomenal courses. And this is probably the newest one, I do believe. It was launched a couple days ago. So, I mean, a couple weeks ago. But let's go ahead and play 2 holes with the VTrack, GS Pro, Lookout Point Country Club. Let's get it. Well, what we saw there was a little bit of a GS Pro bug. I am on the beta, so that was very weird, but in all, everything worked out. All right, we have a 90-degree shot. I mean, a 90-yard shot. We have wind at our back, so this is going to be a 56-degree wedge. I'm sorry, wind in our face. I'm all over the place. Didn't mean to rhyme that. But 90-yard shot. That should be good. Just spin a little. Perfect, perfect. There we go. All right, let's go on to number 2. All right, 162 wind at our back. Let's go ahead and hit a, we're gonna hit an 8. Try to hit a nice little cut 8. Aim at the middle and just cut it over there. That should be good. Sit down, sit down. All right, just off the back, not a bad shot. Not a bad shot. I'm actually gonna putt this. Well, actually, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna chip this. I'm gonna show you how easy and the minimal amount of, like, the smallest chips, the smallest putts, the VTrack reads. So I think this is actually good. So I'm actually going to do a little chip, and you're going to see how this registers. It's only 6 yards. And you can see what that did. I mean, it registered that easily. Very, very easily. So, all right, guys, that concludes a full kind of review, more just in-depth showcase in the VTrack, from the standpoint of mounting distances, you know, going through the calibration, the VTrack toolkit just in general form, the swing cameras that are integrated within the VTrack. Again, you could use webcam, iPhone, really any mobile phone. You can also use the 2 SwingEZ cameras if you have that package. Furthermore, we went into showcase the SwingEZ software. We did the driving range. We did the AI pose analysis, the ability to do a lot of the visuals, added overlays to the screen, and then the 3D model of being able to turn and really showcase your swing from up top, behind. I mean, really, the options are endless there. So, and then we ended with playing a couple holes on GS Pro, guys. This launch monitor is phenomenal. It's price point at $5,000. That's just for the unit. For SwingEZ, it's $1,200. So all in right now, you're at $6,200, which is still a phenomenal price and probably the cheapest ones out there. And it does everything. There's no subscriptions. The toolkit, it works just fine. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's pretty basic. Hopefully that evolves over time. it turns on, it reads, and you can play and get accurate ball and club data. Um, from there, if you want to have it to be able to do, um, really in-depth practice or swing analysis, you can purchase the SwingEZ software for $1,200. So, in my opinion, it's been a phenomenal launch monitor. I've been, just super excited to have it. It's been a game changer for me in the sim room and playing competitive sim golf when you think of the SGT. So, really looking forward to showcasing the VTrack on the upcoming software called Pure Play. That's a Greg McDonald um, kind of just creation. And there's some phenomenal designers alongside him that's doing Pure Play as well. So can't wait to try a VTrack on that. At the end of the day, guys, if you're thinking of a VTrack, I mean, drop a comment. Hopefully you like the video. Hopefully you'll subscribe to the channel. And at the end of the day, just do it. I mean, I think it's a phenomenal device. It's proven now. It is proven. And I hope this video is something that just gets out there and allows you to kind of skip along and go wherever you want to go. If you want to look at the toolkit, awesome. If you want to look at SwingEZ, cool. If you just want to see it in action playing GS Pro, it's on here. So if there's anything that you guys want to see, drop a comment. I'll make sure and get that added. I just want to say again, thank you to all the channel members. It really helps continue to make videos and continue to do what I love, which is giving back to the sim community and just really trying to be there and answer any questions that I can along the way. And guys, if you have any questions about sim equipment, components, or where to purchase anything, it's right over here in the top corner. Elite Sim Golf. Go to elitesimgolf.com. You can contact John, Grant. You can also discuss with myself as well if you have any questions regarding Elite Sim Golf. So hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe, comment. Have a great day.